Let me tell you a story that might change the way you see things. It's about a boy named Sammy and a very important lesson he learned in a surprising way. One sunny morning, Sammy burst into his classroom, ready for the day. He spotted his classmate Adam and noticed his shoes were old and a bit torn. Without thinking, Sammy pointed and laughed loudly. "Hey everyone, look at Adam's shoes. Did he get them from a museum?" A sudden silence fell over the classroom. The other kids looked uncomfortable. Adam just looked down at his feet, his face filled with sadness, and he didn't say a single word. Sammy's joke had hit its mark, but not in the way he expected. The air felt heavy, and the fun he thought he was having suddenly felt ... wrong. Later that day, it was time for PE. The teacher, Ms. Alara, had a special activity planned. "All right, everyone," she announced with a warm smile. "Today we're going to play a game called Walking in Someone Else's Shoes. I want you all to take off your shoes and put them in this pile." The kids were curious. "Now," she continued, "each of you will pick a pair of shoes that isn't yours. Wear them and walk around for a bit. Afterward, we'll talk about how it felt." By a twist of fate, Sammy ended up with Adam's shoes. As he slipped them on, he immediately felt how tight and worn they were. The insoles were thin, and he could feel the hard ground beneath his feet. He took a few steps, and a sharp discomfort started in his heels. He tried to walk normally, but it was hard. His own feet began to ache. He glanced over at Adam, who was now wearing a different pair of shoes and walking around with a shy but genuine smile, as if his own uncomfortable shoes were no big deal at all. In that moment, walking in Adam's old, tight shoes, Sammy started to understand something he had completely missed that morning. The laughter he had shared at Adam's expense now echoed in his mind, but it sounded cruel and hollow. When the activity was over, Ms. Alara gathered the students. So she asked gently, "Who can tell me what they learned today?" A few kids shared their thoughts, but then a quiet hand went up. It was Sammy. He stood up, his voice barely a whisper. "I have something to say," he turned to face Adam. "I'm sorry, Adam," he said, his voice full of regret. "I didn't know your shoes hurt you. Walking in them ... it wasn't easy. If I were you, I wouldn't want anyone to laugh at me either." The whole class was silent, watching. Adam looked up, and a small, forgiving smile spread across his face. "It's okay, Sammy," he replied softly. "I forgive you." From that day forward, something inside Sammy changed. He became one of the kindest and most respectful students in the class. He learned that behind every person there's a story you might not know. Whenever he saw someone making fun of another person, he would remember the feeling of walking in Adam's shoes. And he would smile, not a smile of mockery, but one of understanding and compassion. The moral of this story is simple but powerful. We should never judge others before we try to see the world from their perspective. True respect and kindness begin with empathy, with taking a moment to walk in someone else's shoes. So, let me ask you, what do you think is the main lesson of this story? Is it A, always wear comfortable shoes? B, don't laugh too loudly in class? C, understand and respect others by imagining how they feel? Or D, share your shoes with your friends? Thank you so much for watching and listening. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that makes you think and feel. See you in the next video.